Sunnah protectors of the Sunnah protectors of the Sunnah.
Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Welcome to another session of our Hadith class. And this is the Hadith class, whereas we are studying the Hadiths from the book written by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. And for those of you who have not yet received your book, it's very well reasonably priced. This is how it looks. Please go to his website at atlionline.com. Live longer with less time. All the hadiths that we are studying are from this book. As you can see, most of the hadiths for this week that we've been covering are all hadiths addressing the virtues of praying at the mosque. And what a great thing for us to review, because we have, as always, a lot of fitna going on in the world. And we're in the 5th day of fasting. And the first day of Ramadan, a bunch of Muslims decided that they were doing a good thing by holding the Taraweeh prayer outside in the streets on Times Square and had all the people videoing them. And this is not Islam. The Taraweeh prayer is supposed to be prayed in the mosque behind the imam. The masjids are the houses of Allah. You know, there's so many hadiths where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam speaks about the virtues of performing the prayers in the mosque, not in the street. He and the companions didn't go out and pray in the street and had the people video film them. You know, as we discussed in the class I gave previously today, you know, the Prophet said voluntary prayers are best performed in private, not in public. You know, you receive 25 more times more rewards performing your voluntary prayers in private, which is the mosque, not in public on the street. So people can ridicule you, look at you, and you look silly. Okay, so think about that before we are quick to give accolades to other Muslims for doing simple, stupid things that we think are good when in reality they're bad. Okay, and with that introduction, let's look at the hadith for today. It too is a hadith addressing the virtues of the mosque, I believe. Yep, praying at the mosque. And this is hadith number 16 in his book. It's narrated by Sahal ibn Hunayf. He said, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever purifies himself in his home and then goes to the Mosque of Cuba and prays inside it, he will receive a reward as if he made Umrah. For those of you who don't know what Kuba Mosque is, this is a picture of it. I put this picture here so you guys can see. And this is the first mosque that was built, and it's in Medina. If you ever go to make Hajj, they'll take you by to see it. It's beautiful. It's white in color. You can't tell in this picture because this is a nighttime picture, but it's called the White Mosque. It's all white, and it's beautiful. I personally didn't go inside because, you know, I understand a woman gets more blessings not, praying in her hotel room. But we went by, I stood outside and looked at the mosque while the other people went in because of just too many people too. I don't like crowds, but it's a beautiful mosque. And this hadith is showing the virtues of praying inside it. You know, number one, if you make wudu before you leave your home, and then you go there, you get the same reward as if you were making Umrah. So, you know, we hear about Masjid al-Aqsa, we hear about the Prophet's Mosque in Mecca, we know about the Prophet's Mosque in Medina, but how many of us are aware of the virtues of the Mosque of Cuba? The Mosque of Cuba, which was the first mosque built, and it's in Medina. You know, if you ever go there, go look at it. It's beautiful to look at. And the rewards for you brothers. Remember, all these hadiths that speak about the rewards of praying in the mosque apply to the men, not the women. So if you brothers are ever in Medina, you want to stop by the Masjid al Quba and pray. Okay, what do you guys think? How does this hadith impact you? Go ahead, take the mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I could just visualize it, and it looks so beautiful. As though I had actually seen it before, but just knowing that it exists is a very good feeling. And I like the way these hadiths are are centered around the brothers in a way that's reminding them, as they should be reminded, especially nowadays, that they should go to the mosque and pray instead of praying everywhere else that's not even religious, you know, and how much better the example would be, not just for other Muslims, but for non-Muslims and children too. You know, it's like not like they're putting on an act or some kind of show for the public.
Exactly. And that's why the prophet spoke about those voluntary prayers being best performed in private, because it takes you away from that desire to want to show off. And that's the big problem that we had with these men and women praying in Times Square. They thought it was something great and good when it was a big innovation, a big bid'ah, and it was a sacrilege, especially the Tawrawih prayer of all prayers, when that's so many hadiths, that speak about the rewards of a man praying behind the imam, the Tawrawih, during Ramadan. But these brothers, if you look at the videos, the people that were standing there, most of those men didn't even have beards. So they don't even know that wearing a beard is an obligation, how do they know about the virtues of the prayer? They probably weren't even praying the prayers right anyway. Maybe they didn't even have a wudu for all we knew, So, uneducated Muslims, this is one of the signs of the last hour, the Ruwaybidah. And who are the Ruwaybidah? They are the people that have everything to say about politics and worldly things. But if you were to ask them the simple basics of Islam, they don't know nothing about it. And again, they should have been breaking their necks to try to get to Medina to make it the prayer inside Kuba, rather than wasting their time with that nonsense they did in Times Square. Yes, go ahead, Sister Aisha.
Yes, I was just gonna say, just like you said, all the hadiths we've been learning, it been repeatedly saying the man to go to the mosque, and pray there as they get more benefit there. And the more I see that it's keep on saying the man, I realize us as a woman, there's no blessing for us if we go there to the mosque. It's literally just talking about the man. So it's just best for me to stay at home where I get more blessing there. And this also shows that how you keep on repeatedly on the hadith saying the mosque. They should show those people, that prayed at the Times Square, that what was the benefit of y'all even doing that, when over here is saying that this hadith is saying that how much blessed it is to pray at the mosque, So it's just really ridiculous for those people to go there and say it was a good intention, that has nothing to do with the intention, You literally was there for, just like they said, that we're there to make history, and history don't need to be made, Islam is history already, So we don't need you to make it for us. We already had our religion's already history itself. So it just shows how those people, what they were doing, from the first, it was already what intention we have been making, This is so we just go and, fill up the mosque. That's what we need, We need real men filling up the mosque. We don't need y'all boys over there on the street. Nobody wants y'all on the street. Nobody's asking for y'all on the street. Go fill up the mosque, Allah's house, that's where we need the real man's at. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And they made history all right. History in a bad way, not in a good way. They made history of being the signs of the last hour. They'll go down in history as being the idiots, that the prophet was speaking about when he said the mosques will be replaced with the streets. So they made history in a bad way, and all those people that followed them in that innovation, they're going to get the sin of everybody that was stupid enough to listen to them and follow them. So yeah, they made history all right. Yes, go ahead, Brother Murad.
I mean, all I was gonna add was I've never heard of this masjid called Kuba, but now that I heard this hadith, inshallah, when I go to make Hajj, if I remember, I'll try my best to attend that masjid.
Oh, you will, inshallah. Because if you go, you're going to go as in a Hajj group. Because when you make Hajj, you have to have a guide, a leader, and all the groups usually take you by there because it's right there in Medina. And if they take you to Medina, they'll take you by that mosque. So you'll see it before you even enter into Medina. It's in the suburbs, the suburbs of Medina. So you'll get to see it, inshallah. Yes. Anyone else would like to share? Yeah, again, and it's a wonderful hadith like all the others. And, Sheikh Atlee was really trying to make a point here. And being that he's an imam of a mosque himself, he knows how hard it is to get the men to come to the mosque to pray. That's the hardest thing that the imams are fighting, trying to get the brothers to get up and come and perform the prayer. So it's not just a coincidence that he put the first part of his book, the first 16 hadiths, 15 hadiths have been addressing the importance of praying in the mosque. So you brothers need to take heed, get up and go to the mosque to pray. It's just that simple. And let's look at this one. This is a mosque that very few people hear about, the Mosque of Cuba. It is the first mosque built, and it's in the suburbs of Medina. The Prophet said, whoever makes wudu in his home and then goes out to the Mosque of Cuba and prays in it, he will receive a reward as if he made Umrah. We have Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem. We have the Prophet's Mosque in Medina. We have the Prophet's Mosque in Mecca. Well, here's another mosque, Mosque of Cuba, which is also in Medina, the suburbs of it. And just so you guys know, Abu Bakr used to pray in there a lot because he had a house near Kuba. Also, Umar used to pray in Kuba, the mosque, a lot because he too had a home in the suburbs where Kuba Mosque is. So this is a nice suburb of Medina. And like I said, if you guys are fortunate enough to make Hajj, inshallah, your group leader will take you to see it. So I want to thank everybody for joining and participating in this session of our Hadith class. Please make sure that everyone is here tomorrow. I want to remind everybody that tomorrow we have the next part of our series entitled Be a Man, Be a Good Husband, Muslim Husband Man. That's going to be tomorrow, but I'm going to change the time. Since we're Ramadaning, I'm going to put the time tomorrow for 9:30. That way it'll give everyone a chance to break their fast and eat and then come back and watch the lecture. Because I didn't think of that today. I did my lecture at 8. It wasn't that many people here. Everyone was rushing trying to get the fast broken. So the classes that we have here during Ramadan at 8 o'clock, we're going to switch them to 9:30. Inshallah, that'll be easier. So I'll put the schedule out a little later. Thank you for listening. And I will continue to play those videos like I did last night on Facebook. So you guys on Facebook can remember Allah throughout the night. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.